there are three fatal moves that so many network marketers make that cause the prospect to walk away from the situation and they just don't sign up. Now, have you ever been in a situation where you're talking to a prospect, you're talking to someone that could potentially join your team, potentially be someone that could use your product, and you kind of felt like you blew it? I totally have. I remember many different scenarios where, everything was going great, and then I was like, ooh, I should have done it that way. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but oftentimes we'll kind of be in our flow, we'll kind of be in a rhythm, and we'll do one little thing that kind of shifts the course with that prospect, and they actually don't end up signing up. Ever happened to you? So there's three specific things that seem to cause things like this to happen on a regular basis, and we're going to talk about them because you know what? We don't need to have those things happen in our business any longer. So the first thing is, first and foremost, we talk too much. Have you ever seen someone and they're talking, and they talk the prospect, the prospect likes what they hear, everything's good, we're like, yeah, but then they keep on talking and then they talk the prospect out of the sale? Ever seen that? I've seen that so many times, and it happens in a lot of different scenarios. Like, it may happen when you are prospecting. So for example, let's say you have a prospect and they're your good friend and you're like, you know what, I'm going to hit them up. They would be amazing for my business. Let me talk to them. So you get them on the phone and you know the way you're supposed to invite, right? So the way you're supposed to invite is you're like, hey, how are you? What's going on? Hey, listen, I only have a quick second, but I came across something. Looks like we can help some people. We can make some money. Thought about you. Love to talk more about it. When can we get together? Right? So you just tell them real simple. And they say, oh, really? Tell me more. And then they open up the floodgates and we start talking. And so in the beginning, they were curious. They were interested. They were like, oh, yeah, that kind of sounds cool. Tell me, right? And then instead of inviting them, we present to them on the phone, right? And so what happens is sometimes then we lose the prospect. Now, this could happen too. Let's say you show the plan and they've watched your video, or you're going through the presentation and you're like, hey, this is going to be awesome. They're all into it. They're digging it. And they're like, yeah, I'm ready to go. Yeah, I'm ready to do this. But instead of pulling out the application and saying, hey, okay, great. The next step is let's do X, Y, Z. We continue to talk. And we talk about what's important to us. We talk about the things that we like versus what's important to the prospect, right? So we continue talking and then we lose the deal, okay? That has been something big that I have seen over and over again. And you know what? It happens to network marketers. It happens to salespeople. It happens to guys looking for a date, right? There's all different scenarios that this can happen in. And so we just got to know, we want to share enough information for them to make a decision. And then we want to be quiet so that they can go ahead and process. You ever get to the point where it's time for them to sign up, but there's that little bit of nervousness in the air? And so instead of, being quiet, we have the urge to talk, and we talk and then it's gone. So number one is the first fatal mistake that many network marketers make is we talk too much and we talk our prospects out of the sale. So be aware of that so we can notice if we are doing it or if we see people in our team doing it, because we want to help them out as well. So let's talk about the second thing that's so very important is too many facts and figures. There are some people that are very analytical. They love their numbers. They love their details. They love to know every single fact and ingredient that is in the product and how it was made and where it was manufactured and, the native origins of every single plant that there is, right? They just want to know everything. But that is not most people. And so then the prospect who is taking everything for the first time, right? And everything is new and they're like, I'm learning compensation, I'm learning product, I'm hearing testimonies. Who are you? What's your name? There's all these different things to remember. And then we start telling them all this extra info. Have you guys seen this? Have you been witness to this? Have you maybe done this? If so, drop a thumbs up. You don't have to admit it. You can put some hearts or something. But this happens. It happens all the time because what is important to one person is not necessarily important to another. So we want to remember not too much on the facts and figures. I don't know if you know Jim Rohn. one of the greatest personal development teachers of all time. Trained Tony Robbins, Maxwell, a lot of the different greats, right? So one of the things that Jim Rohn has talked about is he says, let's say you were going to buy a car and you're ready to buy the car and the salesman's like, all right, I got the car, I got the best thing, I know you're looking for it. And they walk you out to the car, and instead of like telling you the things that you care about, like, okay, is there a sunroof? How fast can this thing go? What's the interior got? They just like go overboard, right? And they're like, all right, let me tell you everything, and let's start with the left front wheel. Right? That would be too much. Sometimes too much is too much. And so we got to be aware, we might be super excited and be like, yeah, and you're ready to go, right? But your prospect is getting all of this information. So not too much info at one time will be helpful. Just enough information to make a decision. Same thing as number one. The rule of thumb will apply all the way through. Okay? So that is the second thing. Number 3, the third and final fatal mistake that many network marketers make is they give too many options. Too many options. So sometimes this is a challenge because let's say your company has a lot of options. So for example, let's just say, here you are, you're like, you got this option, you got this option, you got this option. Oh, flip the page, right? You got this option, you got this option, and you just like go crazy with options and upgrades and add-ons, and your prospect is like, you could see their eyes if they start glazing over, right? You're like, yes, I know I'm losing them. So here's what I would do if I were you. You know what is going to be the most advantageous thing for your prospect to join with. Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, that's going to be, your primo package. Like, what are you moving the most of? What do you want to see moved in your organization? Okay, so maybe you're like, I want you to have the builder pack or the 500-point pack or whatever it is, right? Whatever that pack is. If you truly believe in your heart that that is not only the best thing for your prospect, but you can share with them some of the benefits why. Perfect. You don't need to get into telling them why there's, 10 different options and they can get this flavor and they can get that. Just make it super simple for your prospect. Make it easy for them because they just took in your compensation plan. They took in your product. They took in all of the stuff at once and they do not need anything else to make them glaze over anymore. So you could say, hey, listen, you're talking to them. You're getting ready to close the thing up, right? Hey, what did you like best about what you saw? What did you like best about what you've seen so far, right? And they tell you, oh, I really like this. Oh, I really like that, right? Your goal is to get them talking more, right? Sometimes you kind of have to help them out. You're like, well, out of this and, out of the compensation plan and out of our product, what caught your attention the most, right? What did you really like the most? And sometimes it might be like everything. Well, what exactly? Was it, the ability that we have these great cars that you could drive? Was it the ability that you could make some extra money? Was it, the health benefits or, the benefits of the product, right? Kind of help them, right? And so get them talking. You get them talking. Okay, next question. Hey, tell me a little bit more about that. So we want them to talk because the more that they talk and you have a question that is targeted, a question that is focused, a question that's dialed in and you're directing them, kind of like helping the river flow, right? So you're directing them with what kind of things you're looking for. They're telling you all the reasons why they should sign up. Okay, so what did you like best about what you saw? Tell me more about that. The next step is, you are the expert, my friends. The next step is you want to go ahead and get started with the builder pack. The builder pack sounds to me like it's the best fit for you and your family. So here's what we can do. Go ahead and decide, where do you want your checks mailed to? And you start filling out the paperwork. You start filling out the application. And you don't bombard them with too many other decisions, facts or figures or talking too much or any of this other nonsense, because that will lose the sale. So if you just remember these 3 fatal things that so many network marketers do, and you watch out for them, right? If you start noticing that maybe you're on the borderline of doing that, or perhaps you see that taking place in your team, hey, share this. Share this video, share this information. Let them know, hey, you know what? We don't want to lose our prospect. You've already done so much work to get them here. Let's make sure we give them enough information to make a good decision. And we share what we have with a smile on our face and love in our heart with a good intent for them and help guide them along the path of what they need to be if they decide to move forward, whatever that might be, so that they can be the most successful in getting started on your product or getting started in your business. Now, one of the things that is so important for us as network marketers is getting our message out to as many people as we possibly can, right? The more people that you can share your product with, your business with, your opportunity with, the more people can join your team, right? And so there's only so many hours in a day, but would it be different? Would it be amazing if perhaps you actually had prospects that started reaching out to you? They were calling you, they were messaging you, they were Facebooking you because of what you were putting out on social media. Like you were actually attracting these people to you. And so if that's something that you'd like to learn a little bit more about, if that would maybe like shift some things in your business, then I have something that will help you. And basically what it is, it's a social media blueprint. It helps you to understand how to start attracting prospects to you, how to wake up in the morning and look at your phone and, see a bunch of ding, 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 people inboxing you wanting to know more. Are people commenting on your posts? Are people messaging you saying, hey, what's this new thing you're doing? Or hey, tell me more about that. And they're reaching out to you wanting more info on your opportunity. So that's something you'd like to learn more about. You can click on the link that's listed here in the description and you enter your email and it will take you to a spot where you have access to this extra bonus training. And that is my free gift to you guys. I hope you enjoy this. It was so great spending time with you all. And that is it for tonight. So take care, be blessed, and I will see you all next time. For more great training and to receive your free MP3 download on how to attract prospects using social media, the 4 essential elements to attracting prospects, visit summergeronimo.com.